the past 6 years, I've generated over $50 million of sales on Amazon. I've learned basically everything the hard way. 3 months of lost income, bills that had to be paid. They sent every single piece of inventory I had back to my warehouse. But every year there's a new lesson to be learned. So I'm gonna start from year 1 of my selling journey all the way to where I'm at now. Definitely stick around for number 6 because I think it's probably the most important lesson that I wish I knew when I started out. Year 1, lesson 1. I learned that account health is ultra important. If there's even a shadow of a doubt that you might be selling inauthentic product or selling products without permission from the brand, your entire account can go down. And how do I know this? Because my account went down for 3 months. I received 3 intellectual property complaints from brands that did not want me selling their products. Even though I did acquire them from retailers and the products were authentic, my account still went down because the brands just simply do not want unauthorized sellers on their listings. I went through a horrible 3-month experience appealing and getting rejected again and again. I paid over $10,000 for 4 different consultants. Finally, I found one consultant that did get my account back after 3 long months, but that was after there was a lot of damage already done. So 3 months of lost income, bills that had to be paid, but no Amazon disbursements coming in. And maybe worst of all, they sent every single piece of inventory I had back to my warehouse. So I had 6,000 units. They packed it up in boxes, and Amazon, they don't take the greatest care in packing removal orders. So a lot of my stuff came back damaged, and that was another huge loss. So I was honestly this close to throwing in the towel altogether. I'm glad I stuck it out because Amazon's changed my life, but that was a lesson I had to learn the hard way, and I never take my account health for granted again. If you're doing arbitrage today, the account health risk simply is high. If you're selling brands that don't want you or don't know you, then you're just asking for trouble long term. I'm seeing a lot this year of brands just cutting off every single seller without any notice too. So you could be stuck with huge amounts of inventory. I personally know some people that sold Nike. They have multi-6 figures just locked up overnight, poof. That's not a situation I want to be in. And for that reason, I think account health / arbitrage, all the risks involved, it wasn't something I wanted to do long term, and I realized that just from the first year of doing Amazon. So year 2, lesson 2. Since I identified arbitrage really wasn't a sustainable business opportunity, I transitioned my business to wholesale, and I was completely green. I was a complete beginner. I did not know how to contact brands. I picked up the phone. I was pretty terrified. And one of the biggest learnings was how to pitch these brands and how to differentiate myself from the hundreds or thousands of other Amazon sellers contacting these brands. And I learned that you basically need to add value to these brands. Learning the mindset of a brand owner and the perspective of a brand owner. If you put yourself in their shoes and approach the conversation trying to help them instead of trying to help yourself, I learned that was a much more effective way to open accounts than just saying, hey, what's your minimum order quantity? Can I buy $200 worth of product? I'm an Amazon seller. You know, how you phrase things and the mindset really plays into your success rate with opening accounts. Okay, year 3, lesson 3. And this is probably the most fun lesson I've ever learned. It's a positive lesson. I learned that one product or one good supplier relationship can not only change your business, it can change your entire life. So this was back in 2020. I identified a product opportunity that was number 1 in the category at the time. And fortunately, I was able to secure a lot of product because I had some wholesale existing relationships to be able to procure the product in large quantities. And that one product, single product, made me $100,000 profit for 2 or 3 months in a row. And that really skyrocketed my business from doing okay, netting 10, 20,000 profit to netting real serious. So what happened with me is all this money, I didn't withdraw it from my business and buy a Rolex and buy a Lamborghini. I wasn't interested in any of that. I was interested in that money, make more money for me. So that's how I view money in general. It's the more money I have to invest and to employ, the more money passively that's going to come back to me. So I was excited to just reinvest that into more inventory. That also gave me the bankroll to actually do significant orders with medium-sized brands where they want at least a 6-figure order to really give you the best pricing that works and sign you on as an Amazon seller. So that one single product, it's not even a supplier, it's just a single product, changed my entire life and has allowed me to build my business a lot more rapidly. My sales grew 400% year over year just based on that one product. So with Wholesale, you don't need 1,000 relationships. You don't even need 50 or 10 relationships. 1, 2, or 3 really solid relationships, you can build an entire, very successful business on just a few good relationships. Okay, year 4, lesson 4. With my newfound bankroll, I was buying a lot of products from a lot of places, experimenting. I was buying a lot through distribution, and I was a mix of distribution and brand direct, and I still am to an extent, but most of my business is brand direct now because I realized that distributors, they're middlemen. Like, they're typically just marking up the product a little and making a little bit of money in between. There are cases where distributor pricing actually can be cheaper than brand direct pricing, but most of the time it's not. And I was tired of opening up distributors and getting a price list and getting all excited, scanning the list, trying to find pan for the gold in that list and finding really nothing where, all the products were break even or even losing money. It was getting tiring. So I decided to just go more towards the source and try to partner with brands directly. And I found that the margin was better, the relationship was better. I could sleep at night knowing that the brand directly knows that I'm selling on Amazon. That's an important point about distribution, actually. It doesn't necessarily protect you from brands filing IP complaints against you. Amazon may or may not accept a distributor invoice. So there's still some account health risk involved with sourcing from distributors. I still do source from some large distributors that are reputable, but just know that's a risk. The big lesson I learned in year 4 was I wanted to shift my business to these really powerful brand direct relationships. Year 5, lesson 5. So after I secured some of these relationships, I realized I was stocking out left and right and foregoing a ton of sales and profit just by being out of stock of products. So I really got my purchasing processes down and realized that it's better to just stay in stock of known good products from the brands you work with than to try and constantly be reaching out to new accounts and spreading yourself thin and chasing the shiny lights. I'd rather do an A+ job for the top 3 accounts that I work with and keep their products in stock at all times and do huge purchase volume with them and even enhance their catalog. Those are the relationships that are really going to be valuable long term. Just focus on optimizing what you do have as best you can before moving on to supplier 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 forever. I'm not saying don't reach out because you do lose accounts in this business over time. So you do need an inflow as well to balance it out. But don't just reach out to more accounts for the sake of reaching out to more accounts. Do your absolute best with the accounts you do have, and you'll find that it's actually a lot simpler that way because you're ordering from less suppliers, less relationships, and it's just operationally much easier to have a few deep relationships than a bunch of mediocre ones. Year 6, lesson 6, this is the present day, 2025. If I could do all of this over again, I probably would have tried to get a mentor. And even now, I'm looking for a mentor that could maybe 10x my business and take it to the next level. There's always a mentor to be had, and I figured it out trial and error, spending hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I had to make a lot of unnecessary mistakes along the way. So if I could do it again, I would just hire a mentor that I trust. I wouldn't just pick anyone off the street. I would need to resonate with that person. And if that's you and you resonate with me and want to learn all the strategies that I still use to this day, step by step, to secure brand direct accounts and actually build a real wholesale business, click the link below and you can schedule a call with a team member and we'll definitely see if we're the right fit for each other. Side note, the learning never stops. I don't rest on my laurels after having built this business. I'm always learning. Amazon is always evolving too. So I'm actually looking into private label, not because this business isn't amazing, it is, and I'm gonna hold on to it forever, but I want to expand my skill set and do an even better job for the existing brands I work with, and having some of those private label skills like advertising and product launches and stuff like that's gonna help me be an even stronger partner with Brand Direct. And this time around, rather than watching 1,000 hours of YouTube videos and making every mistake that I can possibly make, I just found not only one, but actually 2 mentors, and I've purchased their programs, and I'm just learning the most important things to do the right way without having to spend a ton of time. The other important thing is I can ask them questions. Like if I'm unsure about something, I just go straight to the source and ask them questions. So that's the lesson here. It's like it's okay to utilize people for mentorships, and you're gonna ultimately save a lot of time and ultimately a lot of money, because time is money. That's all I have to say. There's gonna be a year 7 in 2026 and probably another lesson. And I'll be back with more lessons in the future, I'm sure. So thank you for watching.